All right, yo, grab your purse,
Oh,
lock your doors.
new episode of Men and Women Talk to Mars Venus show. I'm one of your hosts, Kente, all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I am so happy to be here with my wonderful panel tonight. Tonight's topic is a part two of a show we did last year called Black and Nerdy or Blerd. We have a wonderful panel, and we're going to chop it up with them. And as we always do, we start off with the ladies. So I'm going to start off with a new person to this show, making her Mars Venus debut is Shannon. How you doing, Shannon?
I am wonderful. Thanks for asking.
You're muted, Shannon.
I heard.
Hello, hello.
I heard her.
I heard it.
Okay, there you go. All right,
Hello.
you know. Go ahead.
Hey,
Hey, girl,
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. That's currently where I'm at today, but I live in Key West, Florida. I am currently a shelter manager for a domestic abuse shelter. I used to be a nanny, a juvenile detention officer. You name it, I've done it, pretty much. I love to write poetry. I'm a published author of 5 poetry books. And I have a wicked sugar addiction.
All right. I think a lot of us do. Put me in that camp as well. So
I got a carb addiction.
Yes, that too, honey.
I will
That
kill
too.
potato, mashed potatoes, green sweet potatoes. It's bad.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this topic tonight.
You're welcome.
All right, so joining us once again, making her triumphant return, is Madeline. How you doing, Madeline?
Crazy as usual.
Now, Madeline, I want to be like Madeline when I grow up. I mean, this lady is, she does so many cool things. I mean, one minute you're doing some death-defying type stuff. I see you on social media. I mean, it seems like you don't have that fear gene at all. You will just jump into any fray. So tell us a little bit about yourself for those who may not have caught you on previous shows.
I don't even know where to start. I won't start back too far because it gets really complicated and all that. But I'm an actor, model, graduated from 2 Ivy Leagues. I'm super nerd, basically. Graduated from 2 Ivy Leagues. I'm a former stunt woman. I've traveled on my own for about 9 years. I did a show on the Travel Channel 2 years ago. And after doing all these stunt shows, I started on a show on the Sci-Fi Channel called Wizard Hunters. That lasted for 3 days until they killed my blackness. I should have known. I was like, oh man, I'm a black woman on the Sci-Fi Channel starring in something. I should have known that they was gonna get me.
Oh yeah, that was coming.
I know where I was like, vampires just ate me. What is this? It's all good. That's an even longer story. But I'm trying to think what else is there. I'm a published author. I run 2 businesses. I'm an influencer. I was in People magazine, and I produced and host 2 different TV shows on cable television.
Holy.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
I don't sleep.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on tonight's topic as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this next gentleman with the crazy mask on, this guy is one of the funniest cats I know. I've known you for quite a while now, and
It's been years, my friend.
I think this was the first time we're doing a live video.
Yes, this is the first live video.
Yes, it's the one and only Ray, or as back in the day, we called him X93. How you doing, man?
I'm doing not too shabby. I have gone through many personality switches. My real name I use for business purposes, but for the grit down and the nitty gritty, most people now know me as the infamous Dr. Cybonics. And I have my own comic strip that I do called Dr. Cybonics and the Cybots, where I am an Uber driver I drop off food around Kansas City, and if I come across a small business, well, I'll take pictures with my tiny little robots and advertise the business to get people interested. It's worked out so we actually have a pizza named after us at one of the establishments, so I guess I'm doing okay. I mean, I'm not running Fortune 500 companies here, but I'm bringing joy to the people in tiny little sacks of hot food.
Well, thank you so much, Doctor, for being on the show, and I'm looking forward.
Indeed, sir, indeed.
All right, this last guy, he was on the first episode we did last year, and I referred to him then, and I will do it again as my Yoda into the nerd community, because this guy, as I said before in the last show, I really didn't know anything about the community or anything. I didn't know anything about anime. Anime was Tina Turner as far as I knew. So,
he got jokes, y'all. He got jokes. He's killing them.
So
don't hurt him, Hammer.
He was my first co-host on the show, The Spotlight, and my nerd guru, the one Neon Sun.
Hello, y'all. Yeah, man. I'm a big guy for anime and video games because of the storytelling and the art style that brings to the table. I commentate over anime. Very amateur, small time voice actor, trying to get into the industry. I'm a video editor. Video editing is my passion. I have a visual communications degree, so try to work on little beats and stuff here and there. And just for like many years, I've always wanted to do a cable company called TOZ, Tower Z Online, with a story which, I'm too lazy, but now I'm working. I'm a working man now, so now I have to work and not put dreams on hold, but it's but yeah, it's frustrating, but yeah, you do what you gotta do. But yeah, I mean, this is what I've done. I met Kente a long time ago. I'm like, who is this cat? Email me. I'm like, do I? But then ever since then, he's been a blessing from God to still be in the industry one way or another. And God is good. And I'm glad that Kente still reaches out to me despite me being busy. So I appreciate you, man. So
well, I got to, man. We go far back, and
oh yeah, man.
We have a good history with each other. So
man,
I always do that, and especially with this topic. I know you can represent with it.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, so
I love my
so the last episode we did on it, there were some things that I wanted to get to that we didn't get a chance to, and now we have a new panel minus Neon, who was on the last one. And I think being that Shannon is new to Mars Venus, we'll start with you. When you were young, growing up, and at what point did you realize that you were a nerd, or that you recognized with that kind of community?
When I was young, say it again. You cut off.
Oh, I said at what point did you realize you were a nerd, or you had nerd tendencies?
Well, I always knew that there was something different about me. My peer group would swear it was that I was the darkest one in the class, but I chalked it up. I couldn't sit still. I always had my work done first. It was on every report card and progress report. She doesn't know how to be still and be quiet, but she's so bright. It was always bright, but she talked too much. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with who I am. This is my personality. This is what I do. If you don't like it, put me in another classroom. And that was probably first or second grade.
First or second grade. Now, when I was coming up, nobody wanted to be identified as a nerd. So how did you being identified as a nerd affect you think, coming up, Shannon?
I don't think it was a problem for me. I think the biggest issue growing up, according to me anyway, would have been the color complexity, and it wasn't necessarily me having an issue with it. I started wearing glasses. I was probably 8 when I started wearing glasses. So yeah, I had a resilient skin. there wasn't much that really affected me. Say what you want. Can you whoop me though? Would have been the follow up.
Okay. All right. So what about you, Madeline? At what point did you realize that you more related to the nerd community?
That's a great word for it, because like I said, I was born into this. Yo, my father is a member of Mensa. He's definitely a nerd. And I guess he rolled a charisma 20 because my mother is like, my mother's a model. She ran her own business. And I'm like, how did you, Urkel, pull this off? But I mean, I was born in it. Like, you know, the first books I read were like, the first books my father gave me were like Dune. He ran a bookstore. You know, I spent most of my early life in bookstores, or he taught me hieroglyphics. And I think for me, the real difference came is when I went to school, I started getting hundreds on every single test. There was never a time I didn't already know the answer or knew the answer beforehand. And then one day, the school system just started pulling me out of class and putting me in special classes. All of a sudden, when other kids were going to lunch, I was going to lunch at fancier places than they were because I was the one helping them get higher test scores in their demographic. Or the idea, I'm from the ghetto, so the idea of a child prodigy being Black and female blew their mind, right? Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, I was this kind of, I don't want to say experiment, but, you know, I'm from the ghetto. So Black female prodigies from the ghetto, you know, they did tests on me. They, you know, at the time, I'm probably not that smart anymore. I smoke way too many blunts right now. But, you know, at the time, there, you know, I had 160 IQ at a seven. And, you know, so I was the person that they kind of trounced around to be like, oh, look how good our school system is. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it just hit a point. I graduated high school when I was 15 years old.
Oh, shoot.
And I mean, but for me, it was one of those things where I'm in the hood, not like, you know, the regular hood. I'm in one of the worst, at the time I was in, one of the worst murder capitals in the United States. It's the most oppressed city in the world. And Omarosa comes from there. So what does that tell you? You know, and for me, it was the early seeing things around me where I'm like, okay, this doesn't look right. This structure doesn't look right. Why are people around me acting like this? And I think it just came for me, like, I didn't really think of myself as different until I started interacting with other people of color around me. And it was kind of apparent to me after a while that they didn't think I was like them, and it didn't seem like we ever could connect. You know, the things I like to talk about and the things they like to talk about were totally different ideas. Mm-hmm. You know, they were, and I'm not going to age myself, but at the time they were like boys to men. And I'm like, man, I just got this new microscope and I found this bug in the yard. You know, or did you see that movie? Like, I would watch Toxic Avenger. I would watch old movies like from other countries. And, you know, I just felt like I was just so different from them, even among the other nerds. But yeah, I mean, I guess it was just one of those things where eventually it just happened because I was bred into being a nerd. My dad definitely directed me to the whole Black nerd. Like, we watched anime. I know how to, he trained me in fencing. He taught me how to speak hieroglyphics. He taught me how to read and write hieroglyphics because you can't speak them. I mean, he just kind of pushed me in that direction, and it just kind of helped. Like, I never really knew if I was smart or not. I just assumed it's because I would just memorize things I had read in the books and just regurgitate it.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I was born into this. I was bred into this. Dragon Ball Z was the first thing I think I ever laid eyes on that I was cognizant of.
Wow.
You know, him and my mother are both horror fanatics too. So they're different types of nerds. We're anime, but I like anime horror. They watch horror. We're horror nerds, which means we're in a totally weird demographic of Black people.
Oh, wow. All right, so we're going to circle back to that because there's some more points I want to make from what the ladies have brought up, but I want to give the guys their opportunity. We're going to go to you, Ray. At what point did you realize that that's where you fit in?
You do understand that I am an only child, right? I have known since day one. I went to an all-white school, technically, from kindergarten to 8th grade. I didn't really truly feel nerdy until I got to high school. because all my friends were apparently nerds too. I mean, okay. I'm about to date myself. Do any of you recall a movie known as Revenge of the Nerds?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say that I was a child. I was a child when that movie came out, and that's who we were rooting for. And with good reason, because everyone on that screen, we knew somebody like. Or one or two of us was like, oh my God, that guy knows me. That guy's been in my house there. He's seen my stuff. He knows me. He stole my identity. That kind of feeling. That's where I was at. I've always been different. I have always... See, you said your first anime was Dragon Ball Z. That's precious. My first anime was Speed Racer. and it was in reruns when I saw it. And my second encounter was Battle of the Planets, and from that point I was hooked. I'm like, wait a minute, 5 teenagers that fly around with different separate vehicles, and they can fly, and they all have wings, and they stand on each other's shoulders, and they turn into the whirlwind. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm about right here. I want all of this in my life. I need this every day. What the hell are you talking about? It came on at 4. I broke my ass to get home, so I'd see that shit before. My little fat ass didn't like to run, but I bet you I would run home then because, hey, Battle of the Planets be on at 4, nigga. So, but that's why I said that's precious that your first experience was Dragon Ball Z. When I saw Dragon Ball Z, I was like in my early 20s. And I was on board at first, but it's like, you know, it's one of them things where it's like, look, Goku, do you really need 4 episodes to charge up 1 spirit bomb, nigga? You know, it got to be ridiculous, so I was like, you know, I'm out. But that just lets you know how much of a nerd I am because I bitch about nerdy shit. But yeah, all my life I've been a nerd and I'm proud of it. I'm 47 right now and I don't see any signs of slowing down at all. None. You see what I'm wearing, right? Come on.
Right.
Wow, that's awesome, man. All right, so Neon, it's on you. So, at what point did you realize that's what you?
I mean, my mom. I mean, I love my mom to death. Man, she always rest in peace. I always put her and God first. But it's like my mom raised me this way, and then she always fought to make sure I was this way. Look, I'm growing up watching ABC. You know, Steve Urkel was my hero because he voiced Joel White. He was Steve Urkel, but also still to this day, I mean, he was Sonic the Hedgehog back in the day, but I'm a big ass Sonic fan. But it's like growing up watching Full House, ABC, TGIF. I mean, I watched Rainbow Bright. I watched Barney and Friends. I watched Power Rangers. I watched Care Bears. I watched all types of TV shit. That not just that, but like the Fox lineup at night, like freaking Married with Children and all that shit. And
did you watch the Gummy Bear? You get down with Gummy Bears?
Gummy Bears? I watched a little bit of it.
Oh yes, Gummy Bears was the shit.
I mean, I watched so much TV as a kid. I also like going out as a kid too. And then the video games came along. I mean, I'm kind of paraphrasing my history here, you know. With my mom teaching me to get for a Super Mario World level where there's 2 pipes and you got to fly get the coins, and I've been a gamer ever since and never given up. I mean, 1996 Guyver, that was my first anime. Though my first anime movie was Little Nemo in Slumberland or whatever, but Sailor Moon, fucking Power Rangers every day, seeing the Green Ranger. I mean, fucking Toonami and Adult Swim and Cartoon Network and shit, man. I mean, and nowadays is like I stream and stuff like that, or watch stuff stream online on anime and shit, and I should buy it. But I've been like this forever, and it's like, I don't feel no reason to change. There's a reason why video games and anime are a big $1 billion success stories. You look at the Marvel movies, for example. So I digress, but I've been this way forever. And I know that every other network and everyone's championing it right now, especially Marvel, because they're on ahead of the game and Disney already ahead of it, where people will look at cartoon and anime and not, you know, you just see it as entertainment. You don't have to feel ashamed anymore to go, you know. But I've been like this forever. I'll still advocate for it. I mean, I'm 33. I still ain't going to stop. Look, ain't no reason to stop, man. So
Keep hope alive.
Now I want to take a moment
hell yeah.
to thank the chat room, and if you're in the chat room, please let yourself be known. I see Imani as well as Jesse Safford. So make sure you be known. I see there's a bunch of people in it. Please, it's to the right. You can ask any question, and I will pose it to the panel, and they will answer it for you. So Jesse mentions Robotech, Voltron, Clutch Cargo, and Stingray
Oh,
as things that he likes. So
Nice.
indeed. Oh,
all right,
and
so
Zoids. Oh.
now Mars Venus is a relationship show, right? So one thing that I really want to know is from the guys and the girls on this panel is, do you think that being a nerd affected your love life in a positive or negative way, or not at all? It's really I want to see from you guys, being a nerd and then trying to have a love life as well. So who wants to take that one first?
I mean, as far as me, I haven't had much of a. I've had dates on and off in my life, but mostly it's just because I try not to be a Nekomaru or whatever. Not Nekomaru, but a Hikamori. I'm not trying to be a Hikamori or anything like that. But it's like this is how it is.
What's that?
A Hikamori is someone who actually in Japan. If I'm wrong, please correct me, panel. I don't want to mess this up. They pretty much they shelter themselves from society, and all they do is just sit in their room, watch anime and stuff like that, and
Hermit?
not really get to. They have a hard time socializing with people. I guess I'm an ambivert, so yes, I stick with my anime because it's like you like extended family members. No one judges you. You just watch them go through their problems, and you hope for the best. Or when you're playing a video game, you hopefully try to influence the outcome depending on what the story is. But as far as my love life, man, it's just they still don't think that people understand what the video game anime thing is. So it would probably be best for me to stick to my group of people, but it's not like I'm not an intellectual that can't work outside that. I've done visual communications. I branch out beside what I love and know. I, so the finite woman, I'm look right now, what I pick up from guys just to work on me right now and just to keep it moving and not just stress out on things. Maybe something happen, maybe won't, but it's all up to God. But as far as that, it's kind of affected it, but kind of hasn't because I can still go to a bar and chill. No, I have no guns and drink and go crazy, but that doesn't mean I can't just be out somewhere and chill and not worry about stuff and then talk about the current topics of the day. I mean, I love my anime and video games, but I'm more than just a stereotype that people like to draw out. So,
okay. So what about you, Ray? And then we'll get to the ladies.
I'm probably not the best person to ask about this.
Well, you said you've been a nerd all your life, so
I mean, you've known me for a number of years, so needless to say, yeah, I'm a bit much to handle in a relationship. So, yeah, I'm not really the best person to ask about that. I would say that it's probably hindered me more than anything because I'm so nerdily random, if that's even a word that can be used together. So, yeah, that's where I'm at relationship-wise. Let's just say the past few attempts I've made have led me to trust women not at all. So, I mean,
wow.
it's kind of to the point where if they're not already in my circle of friends, it's not going to happen. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's get to the ladies. We'll start off with you, Shannon. Now that's from the male perspective, at least the guys on the show. As a lady, have you felt like being a nerd has helped you, hindered you, or as far as relationships?
For me, I don't think it's been a hindrance. I think I'll go back to the first conversation of this, where he said he stayed to himself and he did his anime. I find that most people talk very shallow conversations, very surface like. And when you do find something that you want to discuss, they get bored real easy, or they want to go back to the surface and not get deeper, more authentic, more transparent, and be themselves opposed to their representative. So I get bored easily. But I'm not gonna lie, there is a current person who holds my interest, but prior to this person, no, thank you.
Interesting.
Well, all right.
All right. So, what about you, Madeline?
I think I blame my my relationships and my dating scheme on Star Trek. On Star Trek, I saw how Captain Kirk was doing his thing, and I realized that I am a person where I have a lot of options, so I kind of almost take them all. I date women. I've dated every color: Asian, African, white, mixed, Arabic, and white, Japanese, and Jamaican. I've kind of taken it as in, you know what? In anime, we don't really worry about if they have sex with blue people. We don't really worry. We got girls who turn into boys, boys who turn into girls. And Captain Kirk was all about going to frontiers that he never experienced before. So I kind of feel like I'm taking that model of thinking. However, you know, if Captain Kirk was real, he'd have about 17 million venereal diseases. And he would need a few shots of some antibiotics by now. But I play a lot of
be cussing him out.
He tested it for me. Now I can go ahead and journey into that. But I think that's kind of what anime helped me kind of do that. Like I kind of see beyond people's skin color or race or sex. And I tend to just date whoever I want to date. Whatever attracts me is what I go with.
Now, I mean, you know, interesting. I did a show once, and Neon was on this episode. He might remember it, and it was with cosplay, women who do cosplay, right? And this was like a couple of years ago. I don't know if you remember that. We had like Neon. We had several ladies on this program. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
I understand.
We had several women on this program, and before we did that one, we interviewed a couple of guys who did it on separate. And I remember the guys were saying their idea of going to like one of those conventions is that possibly they would meet a woman at one of those cosplay that they shared some common interests, right?
Right.
So I said, okay, that's interesting. Then when we did the show with all the ladies, and it was quite a bit of ladies on that show. I think it was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
We asked them, so when you go to the cosplay conventions, you know, would it be good to find a guy there, you know, who have common interests? And they uniformly said no. They were like, we do not want to meet a guy like at one of the.
Yeah.
And what I took from that is possibly that the nerdy guys might be looking for a woman who is similar to them, whereas it seemed like the nerdy women were more so looking for something completely opposite of who they are. So, and I've seen that as a recurring theme a lot from doing a lot of programs over the years and stuff like that. And I was really interested in the ladies that I have on this program, from your perspective. Do you find that with yourself and other ladies you know that are similar to you, that they prefer a guy that really didn't fit that mold of nerd? And then I'm gonna ask the guys the same question.
Madeline, you can go first.
I date nerds. I date nerds. I usually date like the highest level of nerd that you could possibly get, though.
But a nerd with money don't count.
No, not nerds with money. My last ex was a mathematical physicist.
Okay.
Hey now.
No, I like men with brains. I like men with money, but I got my own money. I run 3 businesses. I'm on TV. I ain't worried about that. Right now, I'm finding, I tell myself, right, if I have a kid and it's ugly, I can always get it a new nose. I can't make it not dumb. I can get it contact. I can get it weave. I can get it whatever it needs physically. But if it's a moron, we ain't got brain pills.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I gotta go for men who are intelligent and like the weird stuff that I like. And, I can fix ugly. We got plastic for that. I can't fix it.
Hilarious. What about you, Shannon?
I don't discriminate. And I can't really say that my friends look for nerds. I think we grew up in an environment, and I'm sorry, friends, if you feel like I'm about to throw you under the bus if you're watching this, but I think sometimes they're attracted to what they see, and then they get stuck with what they have, whether or not he's intelligent or not. You know, because some people grow into their maturity and their intellectual stability as they age. Sometimes they're not where you want them to be, especially as women. We tend to be more mature, more sound, especially in conversation and just where we are in terms of relationship. I think more advanced. So for me personally, I like them intellectually sound. So, and I haven't had that issue.
All right, I'm going to ask you once again, and then I'm going to go to the fellas. Do you see a guy who's classified as a nerd as the type of guy that you really are looking for? Like the guy that you would want to settle down with, right? Is that your type of guy? Shannon, since we're talking to you.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a type. And I say that because every guy that I've dated has been different.
Sorry.
I mean, I don't really have a type. I just need him to be able to carry a conversation and have nonverbal agreement. The current guy, I would definitely consider him more of the nerd type, if that's where we're going. He's everything that has been described. He's into before he goes to bed, he reads. That's just what he does. And he reads stuff that I'm like, whoa, that's too much information for me to actually try to get some sleep afterward. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go with yes. I'm attracted to a nerd right now. He's dope. Okay. Cheers to the nerd man.
Cheers to nerd.
Yes. Okay. All right, so let me hold on.
Let me bring something up though. However, like my biggest problem is I'll date a nerd, right? And I'll go places with the nerd and all that. And other men come up to me and go, oh, what's going on? Why are you dating that guy? Other men come up in front of us and do these things.
Wow.
They got, they're like, oh, aren't you dating below your class and blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, I work as a model. Wow. I do. So sometimes I go look out looking like my job. And men come up and they're like, oh, you're dating him? What's he got that I don't? And they do it to our face. So it's always been a struggle when I date nerdy men because somebody's always coming at them.
Oh,
damn.
So disrespectful.
That is just disrespectful as fuck. I'm sorry. There's just no nice way to put that. That's just straight disrespect. How many of them have you tasered?
I can fight. That's not a problem. I like to fight. I'm not.
That deserves a current. Like anybody that's rude enough to do that doesn't deserve an ass whooping. They deserve a current of electricity flowing through them to shock the shit out of them to make them think, "What the fuck are you thinking?"
Yes, agreed.
Oh yeah, but I'm like, I don't have a problem with it, but I noticed that other men do. He'll go to the bathroom. He's wearing his Dragon Ball Z T-shirt. Other dudes roll up like, I got money, and why are you with this nerd? Ugh. So, I mean, it's probably, I just don't understand that part. That's something somebody needs to tell me.
Well, you know what that is.
Ego and ignorance.
Thank you.
Ego and ignorance. Baby.
I was going to say it if you didn't.
Ooh, child. I'm there with you. I'm all there with you.
Face value. They judge you at face value instead of getting to know you. Once they get to know you, then they start to understand, oh, we won't mess with them.
They ain't interested. Nobody wants to. They want to talk about the Pusha T fight, and I want to talk about quadratic equations. They don't want to. They like what they see. They're not gonna. Once they actually talk to me, they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it.
Absolutely, surface versus going deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, Ray. If something happened like that to you, where you had a beautiful lady such as her, and somebody pulled that move, how would you react to
that? Did you not hear me say taser?
Would you really do that?
Yes.
Let me throw water on first before you taser.
You like this. if your masculinity and your ego, if this American masculine society has gotten to you to the point where it's like you can't stand to see somebody else win, then you just need the shit shocked out of you. That's all.
I hope that's not me. Hold up. I don't think that's me.
Shouldn't be me. No.
I don't know what that is.
What is it?
I have no clue. Maybe somebody's trying to call me. Hold on.
Somebody's trying to call into the show?
Yes.
Maybe.
Oh, somebody's trying. Okay, somebody's trying to call in.
Well,
Okay.
should answer it. See who it is. We here.
I'm trying to plug it in. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Guess they're not calling in.
Oh, damn.
Maybe they hung up. We had to figure it out.
All right. Sorry about that, everybody.
It's okay.
Well, it's all good, man.
But I shocked the shit out of son of a bitch. It's like, nigga, how are you gonna just disrespect?
Right.
Put some respect on it. You just like, first of all, you know what? If I had a taser, which I don't carry a taser, but me being me, I would definitely not be quiet about it. I'm like, excuse me, nigga? You definitely getting one of those. Like, first of all, never judge a book by its cover. And second of all, have a conversation with her. 5 minutes. I'm going to be over here in the book section reading up on my Dostoevsky, which you probably don't even know what the fuck that is. So while you doing that, I'll just let you talk to her for 5 minutes. I don't even think you last 5 minutes. Either your brain is going to explode, you're going to get bored, fall asleep, or you're going to regret even opening your mouth in the first place. Either way, he's getting shocked. He's getting some kind of shock to him.
Yeah, system.
I think those kind of the other men just assume that male nerds are weaklings or soft or
They mistake kindness for weakness. Every last one of them.
Yeah. I mean, look. Yeah, I might be nerdy, but I'm moderate in my nerdiness. But it's like I have my group of friends I talk to, and then when I talk to group people or customers about general things, I can do that as well. But it's like no one knows your struggle, and that's what frustrates me. I mean, I like my coworkers now, but wow, it's like, why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet in the morning? Maybe because I choose to be. Or, oh man, you need to get this stuff together. My stuff's together. Yes, you can help me. I thank you. Thank God. I appreciate you. Or no, I'm good, man. I got it. But that doesn't know me to be disrespectful for a person. If my stuff's together, I have nothing to worry about. And I wouldn't want no one speaking to a girl how I've been feeling right now lately. If I had a girlfriend, I wouldn't want them speaking to me like that. I would try to at least walk away quietly and calmly and just say, whatever, man. This is none of your business. We're talking. Go away. Shoot, man. People try to get so bold about some stupid stuff. If you're a nerd, I am a nerd and I'm proud of it. I own it. But, everyone's different. You just got to deal with it. Like too much. I don't want to get on a long-winded rant and vent. But it's just people are too insecure about that. Oh, she should be dating me, man. Look, man, you'll probably find a girl that if you want her to be dumb so you can get her for one night. Forgive me, females. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you got the men out there that want the female that's just, oh, she's dumb. One quick lane, that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Most of those men who do stuff like that, they don't want intelligent women. They want jump offs. They want women who are going to be like, they want women who are not going to counter their ego.
Right.
Yep.
That's probably what it is.
That's boring. That is so boring.
Yeah.
It is boring because then when you know what? And sometimes if I'm alone, I'll talk to them for 5 minutes and it's just like, you're hurting my brain. I gotta go now.
I'm infinitely dumber for having spoken to you.
Yeah, I'm like, I just lost brain cells for this. You have nothing to give me. Roll out. Well, I got money. I got money too. What's that? What?
Right.
All right.
But
So
the girls doing it.
that's very interesting though that happens to you. Men can be very territorial, and if they smell weakness, they'll jump all on it.
Yeah.
But they assume that male nerds are weak. It's just an assumption from the things that they've seen on TV, movies. I mean, we talked about Urkel earlier, and that kind of idea of the black male nerd was pretty permanent until we had like Donald Glover. But most people still think they can take Donald Glover to fight, even if they can't. That was kind of the permanent idea of when you thought about black nerds, or when we talked about Revenge of the Nerds, and the one black nerd in there is Lamar.
And he's gay.
Lamar, no problems. Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm half gay. I'm half gay. So,
I mean, it's cool. It's just,
My whole thing is like, why would they even make that even a big deal in the first place?
Right. It's really don't freaking matter. It just to me it's like don't stereotype me based on what you see on TV. I don't care about I support LGBT. I don't care about that. Just don't automatically assume all those stereotypes are true about me. How about you get to know me? And it's like, yeah, I'm a little bit male or female, anybody, whatever. You're stronger than what they give you credit for. And it's that stigma that frustrates me. Yes, I love my anime and video games. That doesn't mean that it sucks. If you actually took the time,
it makes me weak either.
Right. Yes, you probably don't play over. Look, I talk about Overwatch in my job a lot because I love the game. But that doesn't mean, you know, maybe you watch me play for an hour, but you don't have to play with me all the time. Look, I love the characters in the. Yeah, that's a whole nother talk for another day. Oh man.
Yeah, we can't start that Overwatch talk. I don't hear about sheep and none of that. I live in the house of Overwatch. I don't.
Oh, I need healing. Okay.
I'm a Fallout person myself, but you know.
Oh, right. I'm just saying. I don't mean to cut nobody off. I apologize. It's just
no, you're good, man.
Sure, you're fine.
Too much stigma. No one. It's frustrating. It's like, oh, you don't got your stuff together. Okay, well, what about you? You struggling, and then you want to say I suck, and then the thing I learned from my old boss, and he don't work there no more, but he told me that sometimes people crack on you so they can hide their own insecurities and feelings. And it's like you think you know that, but then when you're living life, you don't realize it until someone brings it to your attention. So yeah, that's not that you're like, you know what I'm saying? Not that you're mad at them. It's just it is what that is, man. It's yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I didn't want to go on too long because I could, but yeah.
No, hey, look, this is what people don't realize it, you know. So thanks. You know, like I said, the most I learned a lot about the nerd community from Neon. Like I said, about anime, the video game community. To be honest with you, I really didn't even know like Black people were that deep into it, you know, like that. And I learned quite a bit, right, since, you know, doing the Spotlight show. And, you know, like I said, I thought I was a gamer myself. And then I realized, like, from knowing Neon and other folks that's like in Neon Circle, no, I'm definitely not. You know, I'm definitely not. And not at all, because they take that stuff serious.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's very interesting. The one thing I've noticed though is because of technology, shoot, a lot of us we have a little nerd in us more so than maybe in the past. Because of technology, we have nerd tendencies, I would say. I'll give an example is like most of us is all on social media in some form or fashion, right? And be on the internet. Like I remember there was the actual Bloods street gang, you know, they have their own social media.
I would love to see what their social media manager looks like. There's probably some nerdy white dude that you just let wear red bandanas to wear.
I am so looking this up right now.
I'm dead.
And I'm sitting there like,
dead. I'm dead right now.
I'm sitting there like, you know, what part of the game is this? Like, you know, you have online beefs that take place on social media. You know, like, you know, people Instagram banging, and like even when I went into Second Life.
Oh my God!
I don't know if you can compare a Second Life. It's a virtual world, right? They actually have Bloods and in Second Life.
I would love to see that Twitter war.
Oh yes, you have a 3 o'clock shootout
right now.
And then after that, you get to lay the game in with girlfriend, and then after that, you got a rap battle at 5.
I remember I went to a rap battle in Second Life, right?
Oh yeah,
it was.
Oh yes,
it was
old stomping grounds
I've ever been in my life, and I accidentally bumped into an avatar, and the guy was like, the guy's like, "Watch yourself, cuz." I was like,
What the
Break yourself, fool.
Are you serious?
Go scuff these 32 prim shoes, nigga.
and I'm
This
sitting
was
there
probably before mesh and shit, so I'm assuming they was high prim shoes. So you know, he got that little attitude about it.
I believe it. Like I'm laughing. Right? I'm not even like I can't take the guy serious. You could tell he's like really representing. You know,
No, he was about that life, nigga. That's what that was.
Second life.
That
Second life.
he's living a thug life. Like, and
I got a quick question. You
Yeah.
got digital games? Is there like digital Blood and Crips and shit? They got digital.
Oh yeah.
They got Second Life game wars.
apparently, and they take it serious. Like for them, it's
That's
real,
some real shit.
serious stuff.
It is.
You know, so and so it makes me, you know, like, so in a way, there's all a little nerd in us all to a certain degree. Just, you know, being online is technically nerdy, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, really using your computer like this is what, quote unquote nerdy, right? So do you envision
We
like
got a whole generation of nothing but black nerds because my 9-year-old niece is on this.
on there like that? So my question is, do we see that like I mean, we're starting to see it more so, you know, nerd is becoming cooler and cooler and considered cool. Do we see like the future as being like where the jock and the nerd is just like this? Like, you know, there's no real difference the way that we see it, even in our community, the black community.
I mean, I guess when it comes, I mean, there's still the game of, well, I guess in terms of relationship too, that, and I've been watching so many videos about, okay, how to get a girl and how to get into her head and how to stay away from this girl. I've been watching so many of those videos lately because I had an interest in a girl at work. But it's like, it's still that.
Ooh, those are stockerific. That's a stocker. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, stay out of work. Don't do work.
Don't do work. You invite
Don't do
me all
work.
kinds of trouble, homie.
Look,
Don't do work.
I don't.
You
Don't
ain't
worry.
seen that Beyonce film? Like,
No, I have not. Okay, I
you
haven't
was
been.
obsessed? Don't do it.
I haven't visited the Carters in years. Okay.
Better pick her up at a Trader Joe's or a comic book
Right.
store.
Like it was a crush. It's never here or there, but like, I mean, there's always this offline game of still that the guy, as far as I can interpret it, that, oh, let's play the game. Oh, she give you these looks. You stare at her, she stare at you back, and oh, do this and do that. I mean, they have incorporated some text into it, so I guess it may not meld as much, but it might just be like a everyday thing, like our cell phones, for example, are everyday thing. We won't think about it as much. I mean, that's how I interpret it. So I might be wrong. It's just
I don't know why shit just can't be simple, like a feathered ass dance. It would just make so much more sense. Like, oh, that's the best dancer. He's the one. He's obviously the alpha man.
There you go, son. Yeah.
Well, you know what though, you're right. The ladies are right about the go on the job, but you know, every once in a while though, you got to break that rule. It depends on the person. So sometimes you can't break that rule.
Don't do it.
I wouldn't do it as a rule, but
Do it if there's no way that y'all can't. If y'all both interested in each other, still don't do it. I was gonna say never mind. This ain't moonlighting. This ain't sitcom. Don't do it.
But like, it wasn't. I ain't gonna get too personal. I'm just saying there's mutual interest, attraction, but I'm not pursuing it because I have plans that work there. So
yeah,
of course, you know, who knows? But yeah,
who knows? That could be the Mrs. Son.
One day I'll find the right one. One day, it's all up on.
You never know, man. Yeah, that might have been your.
That might have been your queen.
No?
She's your queen to be.
I was waiting on it.
I cannot be a party to this.
It's too late. You're already in it. Good luck.
I'm already in it. I'm
Deep in the shit. You are deep in it.
My queen, do you know the way?
Oh my God!
So,
she could have been your queen.
Whatever will you do now?
I do not know the way.
Lost her. You must know. You must find a new way.
Yes, the way.
You must go and rescue your queen.
Your
queen to be.
Yes, I'm sorry. I had to throw in some Knuckles memes. I'm a Sonic fan after all.
That boy was good.
Oh, okay.
Would be crazy.
All right, so
That would be crazy.
That's what chocolate.
your food. All right, so is cracking up on y'all. But all right, so let me go to Madeline and Shadid, right? Because y'all representing for the Black female nerd society right here. So
overly so.
Oh yeah, so like pretty much everything overqualified on this episode.
And I love every minute of both of them.
Wait, say that again.
I'm overstimulated. What was it?
Both of them are overqualified and rightfully so. I love every minute of them. They're the best.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, so let's go. Let's say this. What are some stereotypes about Black women who are nerds that you find to be, disgusting and you hate?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Black female nerds are pretty awesome.
Yeah, we're the shit.
Yeah, and we also have vaginas, so it's kind of like we don't really have to do with anything other than just like the problems that already face us as Black women. And being the nerd part is kind of hard when you're looking for other Black women to kind of connect with and talk to as an intellectual, because we selling a lot of bullshit out here, Nicki Minaj, and I'm gonna be a hoe,
Yeah.
I'm a drag, Yeah, I'm gonna cut the bitch, and it's like, no, you're not really gonna do that.
That's just what the company told you to do, honey.
That's what the company told you to do. You ain't cutting nobody. You ain't pulling out no weaves. And I mean, there's this kind of idea where, as Black women, we're kind of told that those are the demographics mold we have to fit. So, I mean, being a nerd has been awesome. The whole being a Black woman comes with its own problems separate from being a nerd.
Yeah, I'm there for that.
Yeah, I don't really have any nerd issues.
No.
All right. What about you, Ray, and Dia? What are some of the stereotypes about brothers who are nerds that y'all want to debunk?
You want to take this, or should I?
Shit. You go ahead and take it.
Okay. First of all, let me just put it to you like this: Black nerds, as men, we get no love. There is none whatsoever. Do you want to know why? Because we are not thugs. We are not out there disrespecting women. I was raised to respect women because I was raised by a Black woman, probably one of the strongest and best Black women I've ever known in my life. And I used to get in trouble for holding doors open by her. She's like, Ray, you ain't got to hold the damn door open for everybody. But I was respectful, and I didn't want anybody to get hit in the face with the door. My point is, I'm that nigga. Okay, I'm that nigga. I'll pull your chair out. I'll open the door. Hey, you having a bad day? Guess what? Here's some flowers for no motherfucking reason. Why? Because you're having a bad day, and your happiness equates my happiness, because I'm not happy if you're unhappy, because you're going to make me unhappy. So, it's that simple. But no, these simple bitches today, sorry, please excuse the language, but there's no other way to call it. There are some simple-ass bitches out there today who just want to try. They want the wifey benefits without the wifey duties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I say that?
That's meant to
That's true.
All the benefits of a girl.
Oh no. It's not just the women. There's a lot of dog ass men out there. And what kills me is how these motherfuckers don't find each other so they can make each other miserable, so us happy people can find each other.
You better preach that word. That'll preach. Have the collection plate. Have the collection plate.
Like
Brothers, sweet. That's funny.
Oh wait, you know what? Now that I actually think about it, the thing that Black women face, I think, is that they think that we want to be white or Asian.
Right.
They think that we want to be
why?
Asian. Like when I do cosplay, I try to pick out Black characters or characters of color, or I was Vasquez from Aliens, because they assume that we want to play white women and tiny little Asian girls. I ain't got that button.
Yeah, me neither.
But I have seen some outstanding black cosplay. I've seen probably the thickest black Wonder Woman in my life, and it was amazing. I was like, shit. I was like, merciful Minerva, my ass. You better get over here with that last of truth. I won't tell nary a lie.
Man, like it's just too much for that. Oh, you're acting too white. I had that growing up. Why you act so white? No,
Absolutely.
my grandparents and my mom told me I remember told me to speak the King's good English. That's how I speak.
Or the King's King's English.
Yes, can I go into slangs and mannerisms and my chilled out self? Of course. But if I need to get my point across in a way that people understand intellectually, yes, I can talk that way when it's needed. But if not, I'm just gonna chill back and be like, yeah, you want to say more? Yeah. But no, I mean it's just these little weird, oh, you act too wide, and oh, I had
or you talk white.
Yeah, that. It's like, no, this is how I talk, sir.
It's like, I see.
I'm a professional. When
I feel you on that one. I went to an all-white school from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. Yes, I can get a job over the phone without you seeing my face. You want to know why? Because the word is called enunciation.
Right.
Yeah, about that. Use it.
But at the same time, you got to still remember, we still being sold that, like I mentioned before, we still being sold that Nicki Minaj mumble rap that, I got to do I do drugs. I got hoes in Atlanta. We still being sold that, bought and sold that idea of the drug mule as the kingpin. And it's like, but you really drug mule for the man. Or we're still being.
You gotta have some stacks. You gotta get some bands. You gotta be the man. You gotta have all that.
No, or for black women, you gotta be that bitch. You gotta have that weight. You gotta have that big fat booty. Like, I mean,
hey, what's wrong with that?
And that gap.
Ain't nothing I'm gonna do about mine.
With that gap, dude.
For this booty, but yeah, we still being sold the idea that black people are supposed to be these like drug dealers, or like, why is Beyonce doing ghetto shit? Like that never been her. Why she gotta have to become a hood rat?
Have you seen her husband?
You know what? That new video, I like it, but he look unloved. Like, ain't nobody brush his hair? Nobody.
Unloved.
Damn. I thought it was just called nappy. But damn, I just pick that too.
It ain't that it's nappy. I got nappy hair. With a little brush.
Well, you're lucky to have hair. Mine is going away. So yeah.
I need some TLC.
I used to have such pretty hair.
Yeah.
Hilarious. That's funny.
I mean, like, look, I pick up like This Is America, and like some Donald Glover songs, like, okay, there's a little bit of truth in what his words say. Not just This America. There was another one where he was talking about women and stuff. There's a little bit of truth in it. However, you should be intellectually smart enough to know the difference between over exaggerations and then the truth that you can pull out of it. And I think that that's what's wrong with America right now.
But that's
America's desensitized as hell.
But that's something you have to be cognizant of, because if we're children this from birth. Like when I got to this planet, Cream get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Like hip hop for me has
Diddy.
Because you have to be as an adult. As an adult, I can see the difference, but we're feeding children this from the womb.
Yes.
And I was so far different. I didn't care about things like that. I would rather, and I'm still that way now. I'd rather read a book. I don't want to hang out with y'all at the club. That's not my life. Like, so there's nothing wrong with being different. It's just that there are so many differences that are, as Madeline put it, bullshit, that get celebrated. And the differences that are important, that matter, and that is probably just left to interpretation of what's important to whom. But our differences as being nerds or quote unquote weird or different aren't what that is. In this society, it's all the shallow stuff, all the superficial stuff. And Nicki Minaj, that's not attractive. That's not cute. That's not responsible adulting.
Please, let's not forget Miss Cardi B.
Not responsible adulting. Now, don't get me wrong. If that's your hustle, do your thing. But that is not something that absolutely. But again, that's her hustle, and that's a level of I don't want to necessarily say that she's immature, but that's a level of maturity that she hasn't yet tapped into. Because before I became adult, I asked myself, what did I need when I was a kid? Because that's who I wanted to become. I don't want little girls to see me and see something and say, "Oh, mommy, we don't ever want to be her."
I mean,
I want to be the representation of something that's worth emulating, that's worth becoming. I never wanted to be a Nicki Minaj, or I wanted to be India Ari
I love
and
I love her.
Yes, but you know what? I'm gonna keep it
and
100.
Lauryn Hill.
I am the person that's twerking on the bar in my Sailor Moon outfit. I am that person. I will go from a business meeting where, like, you know, I'll go from. I can definitely say when I got to Atlanta, I did a speech on CNN, and 3 hours later, you could have seen me in the bar with half of a Sailor Moon outfit on, making it clap. I am that person. I ain't gonna lie. I switched.
I have a little paragraph on my phone I'm going to read. It has hustle crossed out and it has a line. Now, that is not saying that hustle, but I'm going to read it. Destroy the idea that you have to be constantly working and grinding in order to be successful. It brings the concept that rest, recovery, and reflection are essential parts of the progress towards a successful and ultimately happy life. So it has to be pretty much just saying it has to be a balance. And going back to that is like, yes, these videos are highly entertaining. Nicki Minaj, Carly B, and then, you know, some really thought-provoking like This Is America, so on and so forth. But long as parents are teaching their kids, look, that's part fantasy. There's some truth in this. Interpret it the right way and then let it go and then keep it moving. Because that's how I've grown up with fiction. Right? Or entertainers. It's like Biggie Smalls and stuff. I saw a narrative when Biggie, can't you see sometimes your words just hypnotize me? Him and Puffy outrunning whoever. And I thought, oh, this is an action scene movie. It's cool and it's adventurous. But at the end of the day, you got to come back down to reality. And at least for me as a teenager, okay, I got to get my homework done. And, you know, it just has to be a fun balance. Life can be fun, but it doesn't have to be this constant. I don't know. I mean, if that's your hustle, I think that is fantastic. But, you know, for other people, like, everybody is different. I just don't understand how America's gotten lost in this social media effect. I don't understand it. So
I don't even think that's just it. Because I mean, we also have to recognize that as Black people, we've kind of been taught to ostracize our intelligent members.
Yeah.
We've been culturally taught to ostracize the most intelligent among us, or the most attractive, the most intelligent, whoever is like exhibiting not alpha traits, but who are exhibiting traits that could possibly wake the rest of us up. They either take us out and put us into their communities. Like for me, when I started testing, all of a sudden I was like, who's all these white people? You know, find us early and take us out and start making us culturally more prone to their things, or they train us to kick out our own people. We ostracize nerds. We kick them out, and that's not just an accident. We've been trained to do that as a culture.
And the irony in that for me is, now that you've said that, the irony in that for me is, now look at what we're celebrating, though. Prime example, Hidden Figures. These are nerds, people.
Yeah.
They're nerds that we're celebrating now that we should have celebrated then. And we should still be celebrating the ones who are coming into this world who are just like them. We have to stop all of this negative stereotyping shit and get it together.
Right. Pretty much, man.
It is what it is, but that's gonna take a while. We gotta unprogram everybody else.
Sure. That's a fight that ain't gonna be won in no couple 2-3 years either. That's something
that's not gonna be one.
That's gonna be something that's gonna be going on long after we're gone. I'm sadly to say.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, someone be looking back on this is like, wow, they got a point. Why can't we just Well, a little too late. Shit.
I mean, it's already happening. We out here making it happen.
Right. True. It's not too late. But
once again, with the internet, remember everything. It takes what took 10 years to become a trend now takes 3 minutes. Now takes an hour. Like the fact that we have something so fast and we have the greatest communication tool ever in the history of mankind at our disposal. We can definitely pull this off. We just kind of have to get organized and just stop the infighting and get rid of the idea that, if a Black man shows intelligence, then he must be weak, or he likes only Japanese women, or he only dates white women. We ain't gonna, because they came for Donald Glover on that.
Oh yeah, I saw that and I felt his pain. Believe me.
Yeah,
My kids are half Asian, so I know.
Yeah, we need to get certain things out of our mind and just kind of come together on that.
Right.
It's not like he didn't try. You heard what he said, right?
He tried.
He's like, look, he tried.
Because it wouldn't have happened. I was
well, see, he probably didn't get to run into you. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what did you
say? But you know what though? Both you ladies are both unicorns to us. You know that, right? Yeah, we see you actually exist, but where are you? And where are the rest of you? Well, y'all been shunned. And well, you told us that, and we know where you at, sweetheart. But what I'm saying is, we need more of you out there to let us know where you at. So we ain't gonna sit there and be like, Becky sure is half-assed twerking that flat pancake thing she got over there. You know, I'm real tired of that. I'm getting a little sick and tired of that. It's to a point where it's like, you know, I'll just stay home and create my art and do me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just do me.
Well, wait, what did Donald Glover say about that, by the way?
He tried. He said he tried to date Black women all the time, but most of them just kind of felt that he was too nerdy or he didn't fit the image that they were.
Or he was weird. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Like
he's one of us. I don't care what they say. He's one of us. But look at him now.
He can do what he wants. You know what? He
absolutely
contributed. He has contributed enough art. He's contributed comedy. I mean, people really did. People were liking Donald Glover when he started releasing his last 2 albums, but he'd been at this for 10, 20, 15 years. Yeah. He's been doing this.
Yeah.
But you know what? Blerds are kind of coming into their own right now. Like the Blerd culture is exploding.
Yeah.
Because even though we're nerdy, we still cool as hell. Like it just made us It made us cooler. Now I got people, you know, we doing interviews right now talking about our nerdiness.
Right.
I do interviews.
Honestly,
speak on it.
I have to say,
amen.
Before I started working with Neon, I definitely had no real idea at all. So thanks to you, Neon, for better or for worse.
You're welcome, Kente. I hope it's for better, though. I mean, just to
open the door. You opened the door, so I know a lot better. Much more. And it's funny though, one thing I learned, you know, after doing the show with Neon for so long and being exposed, is a lot of people I've known for years were closet nerds, you know. So, like they was like, I like that. What's that? Dragon Ball Z, and then
every hood dude loved Dragon Ball Z. That's how I was introduced to it.
I've never seen it. So I've never seen none of those things. I've never seen none of those things. You know, I only know about it really because of, you know, messing with Neon. So I mean, I heard it. I didn't really know what it was. You know, I knew it was a thing. So
my spare car key.
But I found out
the keychain is the 4-star Dragon Ball.
I did find out though. I did like a anime cartoon back in the day. I didn't know it was an anime. It was called Robotech.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, I know Robotech. They even got the little video.
Yeah, I love it. The Macross Saga. I watched.
Oh yes, Minmay and oh god, yes.
So I was a big fan of that. So I didn't even know. So because I remember Neon was like, "That's anime right there." I was like, "Oh shit, okay, well, I didn't know."
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
the dead giveaway to anime was always the eyes, bro. It was always the eyes.
Yeah.
And the artwork. It was always infinitely better than American artwork.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cartoons were always not cartoons. The animes were always better than what we were watching.
Right?
Oh heck yeah.
You know, it was like one of the first things I saw. I was probably like not even I wasn't even a teenager yet when I saw Dragon Ball Z. I remember playing Mortal Kombat, not even opening to hold the controller. In fact, my uncle used to take bets after he trained me how to play, take bets from his friends if I could beat their ass in Mortal Kombat. Man, at the end of that summer, I had a new bike, all that.
Shoot,
I know that's right. I was kind of lethal like that on Killer Instinct on Super NES.
Oh yeah, Killer Instinct.
A lot of my money growing up in the arcade. So.
Bro, I used to make that controller sing. I would make sure that the infinite moves was off. You know, how you would get the controller going real quick to where it was doing the real fast fight moves to where you wouldn't really have to hit the buttons. Nigga, I would get that shit going, throw the controller down, go in the kitchen, grab a beer, and pick the controller back up just to hit the finishing move. I was that nigga.
Man,
Oh,
yeah, that's how you get jumps. That's how you get jumps.
All right, I like to thank you guys. This panel, you guys were awesome. I think it was very informative, and I really enjoyed this conversation. I want to start off with the ladies, of course. I'm gonna start off with you, Madeline. I know you have so many projects that you're always doing. How can we get you on social media and alert us of all the different projects you have going on?
Okay. I'll start with the parts that I have coming up because you can always check out my social media, Instagram. You're gonna see everything, especially the Sailor Moon twerking outfit. That's definitely on there.
Okay, I'm gonna definitely need you to friend me on that one.
Oh yes. Please send that my way.
But
No joke.
but actually, my next project is we're doing a sci-fi mutant black action film. It's gonna
nice.
call it the what is it? The I think the Diabolical Adventures of Thaddeus Jackson. And
Nice.
got a $200,000 budget. So my next move is to hopefully become an action hero, which has been involving 4-hour workouts a day. I'm hungry, but I'm still trying to keep my thickness because I was like, superheroes can have some ass.
Oh yeah.
That's getting ready to come up here. And if you need to find me, I'm also known as Queen Kong Kai on Instagram, YouTube, Vimo, all social media channels. That's QUEENKONGKI on the social media narrative.
I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt that superheroes can have some ass.
Yes. Yes, Lord.
Because for me, it
Yes,
was
they
like
can.
it was like watching movies like Columbiana, where I was like, she ain't welding them two guns. Girl, you as big as the gun. Go hard. I'm just like, you ain't strong enough to do none of that. I wouldn't even think that you could save me from a cold, girl.
She could be the third world country, though.
Yeah, I was like, you ain't doing none of that.
All right, so Shannon, how can people get you on social media, as well as do you have anything coming out? I know you're a writer. How can we get your writings and whatnot? And once again, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I would say social media, everything is Shannon Ford Jefferson, and that's Ford and Jefferson, like the presidents. You have to put them both in if you're going to find me. I'm currently working on a book. It's called Dismantling Daddy Dysfunctions and All the Men I Loved After Him. It is a poetry book, and all my books, I do have 5. They can all be found on Amazon under Shannon Ford Jefferson.
You ain't with the FBI, are you?
No, you see that on my shirt?
Yeah, it's like she the law.
Actually, I am in partnership with the FBI. I am the lead in my county for human trafficking. So,
wow, okay, good.
Well,
that's
nice.
Good.
We actually really need to talk because we need to talk. 'Cause I work with Homeland Security and I work with international organizations in sex trafficking.
Okay.
I'm actually getting invited to go speak in India, and you know what? We can talk. Maybe we might take a trip to India together.
Yes. Yeah, we also do domestic abuse.
Yeah, a lot of
I do. My real job is domestic abuse, but my passion is human trafficking. So, and they go hand in hand.
Wait,
absolutely.
Madeline, I want to go to India.
I mean, we could have a community of nerds together. We need to have some nerd traveling group. That's
we
what
need a nerd cruise. Is what we need. We need a damn cruise.
No, not a cruise. Let's just go to the location, explore the city together. I don't want to be on no damn boat. They gonna put all the nerds on the boat and they gonna sink us like the Titanic.
Nerds resourceful. We need to make up another new word.
I'll take it all.
Nerdy Civil War up in here.
I'm here for all of it.
All right, so Ray, how can people get you on social media? And you're a very talented singer. Do you have any music coming out? And when can we get our hands on some new music from you?
You know what? I have not worked on hardly any new music as of late. I am working on something for a special get together tomorrow night at the Arts Bar in Kansas City. We're doing another lyric lab. That's where a bunch of us Kansas City musicians get together and we just tear the house down. That'll be tomorrow night at the Arts Bar around 8 o'clock. But other than that, I don't really have any music projects in the work.
just because I'm waiting to get a new laptop. Once I get a laptop and the programs, the VSTs, do all the music and stuff, I already have all the vocal equipment that I need to do the voices and stuff. So that should be sometime here before fall, I would think. But to get at me on social media is like the simplest thing because it is the same name across all social media.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Cybonics. That's DrCybonics.
I'm trying to
You can
spell
get
that.
me.
Damn, I'm trying to do it now. That ain't working.
Say it
It's
one more
real
time.
simple. Okay, I said that's DrCybonics. And
Okay.
that is on
Hey.
Instagram. It is on Twitter. It is on Snapchat.
I
And I
type
have
it
a
in.
page. I have a page on Facebook as well for my
And
not animated series, but I do like a web strip where I buy these plastic blank figures. They're called color blanks from Rosart, and I turn them into what are known as the Cybots. And if you go to my Instagram page, you'll see a lot of comic strips that I've already done of me and my adventures around Kansas City with the Cybots. So that's my latest project is Dr. Cybonics and the Cybots, and I'm thinking about probably doing an album with these little niggas. So we'll see.
I put it in the chat, and both this chat as well as the chat for the people.
And there's a pretty little dog on your Instagram who
Yeah, that's Jasmine. She
Jasmine.
just passed. Yeah, we just lost
I'm
our
so
mascot.
sorry.
Oh,
It's
Yeah, that was a
gorgeous.
heartbreaker. She was oh my gosh. She wasn't even really my dog. She's my friend's dogs who I stay with, because I rent a room from them for the time being because I'm all over the place. And she just got attached to me. And it was like I would come in all hours
Mm.
of the night because I do Uber Eats and stuff. So whenever I come in, she right there at that door, happy as hell to see me, and would spend many a night with me. That picture that you see
Aw.
with R.I.P. is her laying on my chest one day, and
mm,
yeah, it just broke my heart when she died.
Sorry about that.
yeah.
It's all good, She ain't suffering no more. Her hips was gone, and she was suffering, so she ain't suffering no more. I just miss her.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right. So Neon, how can people get you in social media? Tell us about Tower of Zeal and any of your projects that are coming up.
As always, facebook.com/TOZ online. Usually there lately, yes, I'm posting a lot of it's on the liberal side of things, a lot of liberal things, but every once in a while, if something I can't get on YouTube, I upload something exclusive there. I might update something on life. Like just recently I did a AMV where even though I use Kayon Mio, I would like my mascot Melissa, I have her sing another song about it's Papa Tutu Wawa. It's some little meme-ish song or whatever, but it sounds so good. I don't know what she's saying, but it sounds beautiful and stuff like that. On youtube.com/TOZ chat panel, you can find just so much content of TOZ Online's things of just still want to work on my little Overwatch Splatoon project. I need to get off my booty, but I usually stream a lot of episodes of the PS4 games, which is fun and relaxing. Upload some music tracks, and then soundcloud.com/TOZ online. I put up two I put up rap beats, just some pre-made rap beats, and try to remix them together with things. And then just twitter.com/TOZ online. It's kind of quiet right now. I have to find the inspiration to do work. All of it's for free, all of it's for fun. So, I hope you guys can stop by and join us. I love and appreciate y'all, any that do come by and see it. So that's pretty much it.
Dope.
Well, once again, I want to thank the panel and everybody that's listening. We won't be on next week, but we'll be on the following week. Tomorrow we'll be on for another Talking Black Sales show. We may have something Wednesday as well, and on Friday we'll have an Art Beat episode as well here on Indie Radio. So you can get me at Kente F on Twitter, and you can go to our website indieradio.org. That's INDY radio.org. Thank you, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye, and God bless.